Hey everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Today is June the 10th. Today is Tuesday, 2025. I had to come here and make this quick episode regarding the riots and all the chaos that's happening right now in downtown LA. And this is regarding the immigration protest that has been going on over there. Um, you know, there was mixed report about what's happening in LA. It was so weird watching it on the media, on the mainstream media, because it was like a group of people were saying, nothing's happening here, everything is safe, there's no riots, and, they don't need to send help from the upper management, I guess you can say, from upper leadership. Everything is good here. And then you will see videos posted on the internet on other social media platforms where they're showing the looting, they're showing the people burning cars, burning the flags and things like this. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is this so different type of reporting? It's almost like we don't want to show exactly what's going on, because um we want to change the narrative, okay? Which tells you have to be so careful about what news channels you're watching, because it's so easily deceived, okay? They're trying to make it seem like, upper leadership, like I said earlier, if they're trying to send help here that is not needed, everything is peaceful, which is clearly not peaceful, right? Because you see a lot of burning cars, burning the flags and things like this, and people on the street being arrested. That is not a peaceful protest. So it's so weird that even though it's in chaos, right, they still want to change the narrative. And this is the times that we're living in right now, right? You have to go beyond just flipping the channel and watching one report. If you really care to know what's happening, right? Because sometimes we only care if it's happening outside our window. So if you really care to know what's happening, you gotta do your own research, I guess you can say. But right now, the breaking news coming out of LA is that they have put a curfew in place starting tonight. Okay, so from 6 p.m. to 9, I believe. The curfew, let me tell you, a limited curfew will go into effect on Tuesday for part of downtown LA after several nights of violence that follow a largely peaceful daytime protest over the immigration enforcement, said the mayor of LA, Mayor Bass. So I remember watching her saying things like, oh no, we're not, they don't need to send additional help. Everything is peaceful here. And look at where we are now. Now there's a curfew enforced in place starting tonight because of all the chaos that's happening over there, right? The curfew, says here, does not apply to residents and people who work in the area. And she said, if you do not live or work in downtown LA, stay away. The order comes after a weekend of protests that turned violent in downtown LA area. On Monday, largely peaceful protests. You see how they keep saying largely peaceful protests, and I'm laughing because it's so weird. Like, why can't you just do a clear, transparent reporting, right? If it was a large peaceful protest, why is there this enforcement going on, right? Why is this even news, right? It should be like, it was just a group of people protesting what's going on, nothing else. But now it's saying, we're sending additional people to, additional police to make sure that the streets are safe, and now we're putting this curfew in place, right? So it says here that Monday night, large peaceful protests during the day were followed by a night of looting and vandalism. She also said that the curfew has been considered for several days, but it was just deemed necessary after 23 businesses were looted and vandalized last night. Okay, more than 100 arrests were reported last night in downtown LA, the LAPD said. There have been at least 200 arrests since Friday. Okay, demonstrations continue Tuesday near the federal building and the highway. Briefly, on Highway 101, briefly halting traffic before a line of officers direct them off the freeway. I saw somebody on TikTok talking about how dangerous it was to see that on the freeway because you have the freeway, right? People drive fast, right? And then you have this group of people just walking into the freeway, basically. We can be, it can really cause a change reaction to a lot of, accidents. So let me see what else says here. This she's saying that is the curfew will be a quick response to what's happening. Let me see what else. I mean, the images if you're able to see some of the images, they're really shocking. And it's really like I would never understand how violence will lead to a positive change in anything that you're protesting against. Okay, that's just my opinion. I will never understand how you have to damage people's businesses. You have to damage property. You have to be burning things, burning the flags and things like that just to get a positive outcome. That just, it doesn't make sense, right? And there are, like, especially with social media now, there are so many ways that you can be heard. You can make your voice heard, especially, by reaching a lot of people, right, through social media. Burning things and like blocking the freeway. I mean, it's affecting your own people in your neighborhood, right? It's affecting your own hometown where you're living. So, in like looting the businesses, right? Like we saw like 5 years ago, that was just terrifying to see. I mean, they were burning. I mean, I know it's not related. I get that. But it's the time of it. It reminds me so much of what happened 5 years ago, exactly in June, right? Um, to see they were like burning police stations and things like this, and you were like, I mean, I was like, that is terrifying, right? And sometimes, like I said, we don't pay attention unless it's happening outside our window. But you need to understand one thing. All these protests and things like this that are happening, imagine like a family, who's just trying to, like living in that neighborhood, right? Who's just trying to live their life. They have young kids, let's just say. They're not interested in going out there and like protesting, right? That doesn't mean that they agree with everything that's happening with immigration and how it's being so aggressive, right? That doesn't mean that they agree with that, but it means that they have a different approach to something like that, right? Um, they don't want to basically deal with it, but they are caught in the middle of all of this. And now they're seeing like there's the neighborhoods being looted, businesses being looted, fires being breaking out and things like this. I'm sure they don't want to be around there, right? So you see something like that, you kind of sympathize too with the people who want no involvement on this whatsoever, but they are like afraid to go even outside, to even park outside and things like that, because they don't know what can happen. So this curfew began today. It starts tonight. I don't know what time will be over there right now, but I believe it starts at 6 p.m. And they say it's gonna be temporarily, right? Not 2 days ago, the mayor, right? The mayor came out and she said, we don't need the help from from upper leadership. We don't need nothing like this. We're managing everything well. Um, look at now she's installing, enforcing a curfew because it got out of hand, right? Um, Now they're trying to control everything that's happening over there. And it's been already, they say it started on Friday. Today is Tuesday. So um, hopefully it ends soon, right? For the people, like I said, for the people who are innocent caught up in the middle of that, right? For the businesses in the area that I'm sure they're just like closed, and then they come in the morning, it's all looted and broken into, and you know, it's crazy, right? Like I said, I will never understand doing something like that will get a positive change of anything that you're trying to protest about, right? So if you live in LA, you can leave a comment, let me know how it's going over there. And like I said, there was a lack of transparency when it came specifically reporting what's happening over there. And let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.